Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Still working on the siding project, but today's the day to get her done. First thing I gotta do is get two ladders set up. I gotta get a screw 3 inches from the edge there to hang my tape from, and I gotta pull the tape all the way to the other side across the tops of these scuppers, and I need to get a measurement on each one, a dead exact measurement. Then I'm going to grab a chunk of this siding and connect it to that top rib, and then measure up, use the siding to measure up and mark where the top and bottom of those are. So I need a measurement for all 3 of those. I need a measurement for the vent cutout. And then I have to get measurements for the blocking that's going to go around the scuppers. So there is actually quite a bit to do on this. And the weather, well, it's not super good today. They switched the forecast. The wind was supposed to be coming out of the northwest. Now it's coming out of the southwest, so it's coming right at me here, which kind of sucks. It's pretty chilly out there. I'll show you the forecast here. Today, mostly cloudy, fairly windy, up to 10 miles an hour out of the southwest. So today is not that good of a day. It's 42 degrees, but it just feels really nasty out there. It's really damp too. Tomorrow, almost 50. The day after, almost 50. And way less wind. This is out of the northwest. Tomorrow is like a perfect day. And then Thursday, it's coming dead out of the south, which is not going to be that great of a day. And then we have 1.6 inches of snow on Friday, and then AM snow showers, so that must be snowing overnight. So that could be a total of over 2 inches of snow. And then like this 32, as long as it's not windy, that's a really nice day. But this is kind of windy, 6 miles an hour. But that stuff doesn't matter because I should be able to get most of the way done today, if not all the way done with the siding. Then tomorrow, I'm hoping I can get the entire cap on, but I still have 1 day buffer. And where is that cap? The cap is out here. I tested one of those. Well, let's go take a look at it. It's on the back here. There it is. You can barely see it, but you could see it right there where it meets that furring strip that's going up. All that really does is covers the top of the parapet and gets the water to either drain onto the roof or down onto this. Actually, it kicks it out and it gets it past the wall, so that's nice as well. But it does allow any heat that builds up and goes up this to escape up at the top there. Pretty nice. I figured the size and shape of those a long time ago, way before I got this stuff on, and I've had a couple sleepless nights worrying about whether that was going to fit or not. But it does fit, fits really nice. The only difficult part on it is cutting the corners, and I should be able to do that just fine. Hopefully I don't mess up, but I do have enough. If I mess up a corner, I can just cut it off and do a new one, and then the final cuts will be made at the house. So let's get these ladders set up and get some measurements and get to work. Before I forget, I went and got the screws yesterday. I went to the Amish place, and he said he would replace this siding in the spring if I wanted to. I'm not sure I want to do that, but that was pretty nice of him. He gave me the screws for free, and this is what I was talking about for the trim around, like the electrical and probably the scuppers and the other stuff as well. This was just a test piece, but what this is an outside closer. So what I'm going to do is put 2 of these on the sides. They have the cutout there, And then the bottom, it all depends on the profile. If it lands like down here, I can just put a straight piece of foam like this on the bottom and top. I'll have to work it out. It'll all depend on the position of the cutout on the building. But that's how I'm gonna trim out the openings. Then I'll have a piece of aluminum screwed right through this with like maybe 6 screws. It'll look really good and it'll be watertight even though it doesn't need to be. The entire outside of this building is waterproof, so all the siding is UV protection and fire protection. All right, let's get them ladders set up. Okay, change of plans. What I'm gonna do is just go back and forth between out there and try to get as much done in here as possible. I'm gonna go out, take a measurement, come back in here, warm up a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but the wind is way more than what I was expecting, and it's coming right at me from that direction, so it's just nasty out there. So I have the first couple dimensions here, got an overall length. I got to add those two together. I'm gonna warm up a little bit and then go get that one, then that one, and then this is the cutout for the vent over there. Once I have, well actually once I have the overall, which I already have kind of right there, I can pull out that panel that's in the greenhouse, get it on the grass, and rip that to width, and I can bring that in here. I'll do all the cutting in here, all the hole cutting. I'm going to use the jigsaw on that. The circular saw is just a little bit brutal for them small holes. Well, the jigsaw is kind of brutal as well, but I'm going to put a new blade in it. I have 2 new blades. I will probably go through both of them, do half of it with one blade and then half with the other, just to make sure that it doesn't grab and bend up my metal. I don't have another 20-foot panel left, so this is kind of it. Okay, little change of plans. Yeah, it is getting really nasty out there, just icy cold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split this one, and I'm going to do it 1 over further than I did the last one. That's where I wanted to do the last one, but it really didn't make much sense on that one because I would have had, well, we can get out there, I think. Well, never mind that. There was no place out there that I could get out of the wind. It's just really windy out there, right in this area. But anyways, the other one, if I would have did 2 pieces all the way over to this stud, it would have came over the door and then down. It would have had a skinny piece right here and would have been right up against the vent. It would have looked kind of terrible. This one will look nearly invisible doing it right up to this stud. So I'll show you that later when it's not so windy out. So what I have to do, the piece is ripped. We need 1, 2, 3 full ribs, and then as much of this flat as we can get. That's the very top. I got to rip the whole thing like that, and then I have to cut it at 224 5/8 and 14 7/8. Actually, that's basically the entire sheet. This one can actually be whatever's left. It doesn't matter how much it hangs over underneath there. So I'm going to go out there right now. I'm going to rip this to width and then do that cut, and then bring that stuff in here. I'll have to clean this out a little bit, get that stuff in here, and then start laying out these scupper holes. Alright, Cindy and I dragged this in here, got it up on two 16-foot 2x4s to make it a little stiffer, and that worked pretty good. I want to show you a pro tip on measuring to openings once you already have a panel up. Like, say this is a panel that's up there. It's kind of hard measuring. This is a little wavy right here. This is what you actually have to measure from. So how you do that is just take a strip of it like this, and then you lay it on your wall and connect it. That's how it's going to go on. Then I just take a piece of tape and tape right above and below in this case. Then I have my lines on here. These need to go all the way through because they're not quite correct. But then you lay this down, and I would have a line exactly where the tape meets the metal, right there and right there. And then I just gotta slide it down to the other line and do it again there, and then connect the lines, and I have an exact location. Otherwise, it's really hard to measure. What do you measure to? Do you measure to this and then subtract to down here, down to the middle of that? That's by far the easiest way I've found to do it. So right now I got to continue these lines up a little further, get them hash marks on there just like I showed you, connect those, and then that will be one opening. That'll be the first one on that side. And then I just need the two more, and this piece is actually ready to go up. I think Cindy and I can get this one up. And this is actually the end one down here in the corner. This one goes in first. Alright, a little bit of drama. While I was up there measuring this middle scupper, I heard like a motor coming from down that way. And yesterday Cindy had told me that she saw the neighbor down there on our rock road. There's absolutely no reason for him to be down in our woods. So I grabbed the dog and went down there, and I told him, he wasn't on our road at the time, but he was splitting wood. I told him to get their trampoline off of our land, and I found out about the dirt. His brother works for a landscaping company and had a truckload of dirt, and didn't want to take it all the way back to the little town to his company. So he asked him if he wanted it dropped off here. But they dropped it off on our land. Getting really pissed off about that. We're going to have to put a fence up next year and deal with it that way. Alright, so what I'm going to do on these, I got them all marked off. 1, 2, 3, and I measured the top and the bottom with a piece of tin on each one of them, and you can see it's coming up nearly to the top of this on that one, pretty much exactly the same on that one, and pretty much exactly the same on that one, which means that everything is nice and straight up there. All the scuppers are nice and in line. It would have really sucked if they were off a bit, but they're not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the step drill and I'm going to drill 4 holes. I could do it with 2, but then you got to curl around, and I don't want to take any chances of gouging this stuff up. So with 4 holes, all I got to do is go one way, go the other, do the same on all 4 sides. Step drills are great because you could start drilling somewhere over here and just keep pushing it down until it's right on the line, and then make your cuts from there. So I'm going to get these 4 cut. Then I have this inside piece to get cut. This just has a notch. I think it's right about like that. It's 2.5 inches from this side. It's pretty tiny, and probably right about here. I think it just comes up yay high. This I'm going to clamp down. I want to do this last because I'm going to pull the horses close to each other, and I'm going to get this clamped down. I don't want this rattling around and getting ripped up when I cut it. So get that done in a little bit. Start cutting these. Alright, little bit of a problem. I got this all laid out, and I was about to find a backer so I could get it cut, and my back was just hurting like crazy. So I went and took a Advil and sat down for a little while. Problem is, these 20-footers, when we take them out of there, Cindy goes right at the opening right here, and I go all the way to the other end, and I have to lean over and lift the panel with one hand and walk out. That's the only way to get them out of there. They take up most of the door, so you can't really tell now without any panels in. With the panels in there, I'm way over on the right hand side and up against stuff, so I have to walk in this really funky position for the 20 feet that I'm in the greenhouse, and every time I've done it so far I've gotten a backache out of it. But this time it just got really bad. So, like I said, I took an Advil and sat down for maybe an hour, and the sun has gone down on us. So that's going to have to wrap it up for today. The wind finally died down a bit, but it's still a little bit breezy out there. I could actually go out and get this done right now, but I would have to reset up the ladders and all that stuff, and it's really just not worth it. So in the morning, I'm going to have to find a backer for this to stiffen it up, get this cut, and get this piece screwed in. Then I'm going to need a hand with this monster. It would be better if I had 3 people, because these have to be slipped over the scuppers, and I cut these 3/16 of an inch in each direction larger than the scupper. So that's not a whole lot of play. I'm thinking we might have to have a person at one end, and then, well, Cindy at one end, me in the middle, and I would like fit this one over the middle, she would fit that one over that end, and then once we have it a little bit on, I could probably go down and maybe up on the little ladder and then get this on. Once they're all 3 on, it'll hang right from the scuppers, and I can just push it back in. If it fits, it better fit. We have 2 days, tomorrow and the day after, and then we're getting 5 inches of snow, and that might be it for the year. So I just have the 2 days to get the caps on, and that is 2, 4, 6 pieces, but those go on pretty easy. And to get these two on, and I got to get all the screws on, and that's kind of a problem because you have to keep moving the ladder, put a couple screws in, move the ladder again. I don't necessarily have to get all of the screws in this, but I probably should, because the cap actually goes over this top part. So I would have to get at least the top 2 in and the bottom one, so that only leaves 1. So yeah, I really do have to get all the screws in it. And then this bottom panel right here, I might as well just throw in all the screws, get everything done, and then start working on them caps. I should have plenty of time for that, but who knows. Like I said earlier, I need to butter the entire top of the parapet with the water stop, and then I have to cut the corner joints. They're not really complicated. It should go pretty quick. But who knows? If I make a mistake, I'll have to cut the end off and then go again. Ooh, what was that? We had that happen yesterday as well. Kind of blew everything up. My computer's running right now. That's a problem. Okay, I'm gonna have to go check on that. Well, I'll clue you in on all this stuff again tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have this done or nearly done tomorrow, but we do have that one last day and then snow. Oh, and we also have to move everything around. We have to get all the panels stacked up like on the side of the greenhouse there, and we have to move cars, we have to move this, we have to move that. We have to get ready for the snow. Anything that's caught out in the snow may be stuck there until spring. So yeah, it's going to be a very busy couple days. Real bad day for a backache, but oh well. So if you want to see these busy couple days, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.